Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our another Monday night stream. Today we are doing some D&D homebrewing, but with a little bit of a twist. Because at the end of the last stream, we did so much talking about just chatting shit about children's card games, specifically the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, which Chris and I played a lot growing up.
The only children's card game. All of the rest are card games for mindful adults. Only Yu-Gi-Oh is played by true children.
You tell me you've never seen a bunch of 5-year-olds play Texas Hold'em? They are vicious.
Indeed. Indeed. Oh,
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, the most terrifying of all of those 90s, 2000s card games for children.
Yeah, and one of the 3 card games that has held on. And honestly, I know nothing about the Pokemon card game. Magic the Gathering seems to be getting brutally fucked by its owner, and Yu-Gi-Oh is just it's a mess.
Yu-Gi-Oh got brutally fucked years ago. It's a Konami property.
I'm pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh is what has been propping up Konami for quite a while.
I mean, I'm still just mostly shocked that it's not been exclusively used for fucking gacha machines.
Well, it doesn't have to.
It's already gacha.
Yeah. And also, you know... Hello, Lion! Hello, new person. The Lion of Khmer? Khmare?
Khmer.
Lion comment?
Yo, Lion.
Lion communist?
Lion, we here to make... I don't know if we're winning. We're here to make Yu-Gi-Oh monsters into D&D monsters. Because that is who we are. We are nerds of many stripes.
Exactly. Chris and I played the Yu-Gi-Oh card game quite a lot when we were kids. I picked it up a little bit as an adult before, the Link monsters came out for the big...
By kids, you mean that we both kept playing it roughly into our 20s.
Are we not just big children? Are we not just big children with facial hair?
I have always thought of myself as big children. That is what I told the judge and jury. I am just big children, please.
Yes.
Christ.
They still did it for murder, but yeah. But yes, so
children can still bury bodies.
So we decided that we were going to pick not some of our favorite monsters, but we would pick some monsters and try and turn them into D&D monsters. Give them stat blocks, give them the whole shebang. So I went on
some interesting monsters.
Yes.
Some ones that we were like, this could be fun and funky.
Yes.
So we picked 5 each.
Yes. We will be rolling this die to determine which ones we got. I went onto Reddit and found this stat block template created by, I believe the user's name was Colonized Idiot. Convicted Idiot, my apologies.
Thank you, Convicted Idiot, for pointing the wrong way. This beautiful. Wait. I've disappeared. Oh no, I'm pointing the correct way now. We're alright. Everything's fine.
Thank you very much, Convicted Idiot on Reddit. If you
nope, I was pointing the wrong way. It's that way.
Because there's a...
This thing.
There was a thing specifically in the Reddit post of, hey, give this person credit. And I wanted to honour that, and I've just realised I forgot to grab my dice tower. So, what we're going to do...
Thank you, Convicted Idiot. Let's go.
Yeah. What we're going to do is... I've got the monsters in order, and I'm going to roll the die, and whichever one we get, we are going to go through. We're probably not going to do all 10 tonight, because that would be
seems
insane.
Unlikely. Yeah.
So, yeah. Starting us off is number 10, which I believe...
Oh, damn.
...is one of yours.
Oh!
Ryukushin Powered.
Right, so I thought this would be quite fun, because Ryukushin and Ryukushin Powered are two totally fucking useless monsters from OG Yu-Gi-Oh! That just have so much weird lore potential. Alright? Ryukushin Powered is the mech version of a different monster called Ryukushin, who is even more useless.
Yeah.
Both of them were cards used by Seto Kaiba in OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. And both made appearances in the anime for no good reason. But they're there. And yeah, it's just like it was a gnarly fiend dude who decided to get augmented.
I was gonna say, isn't it a gargoyle?
Get on the power armor and wreck shit.
Isn't it a gargoyle?
I'm not 100% sure actually. Maybe
this
is what I should have. Maybe this is what I should have actually been doing. Instead of getting up D&D monster stats, I should have been getting up Yu-Gi-Oh card
Get your ass on Wikipedia.
Ryukushin.
I'm pretty sure it says somewhere in the flavor text about it being a gargoyle.
Entirely possible.
But yeah,
Let me have a look.
It's this big red armored chicken fucker over here. Not a fucker Japanese, of chickens, but this chicken-like fucker.
So the Japanese name actually translates to gargoyle, apparently.
Oh, cool. So yeah. So this is going to be Ryukushin powered. How big do you think this thing should be? Well, sorry, let's do another step. What kind of creature in the D&D, sort of in the D&D space, do you think this would be? I mean,
I'm like, hang on, Monsters by, because I don't have lots of books and things at my disposal. What I have access to is basically just the monsters from the DM manual,
right?
The DMG. Yeah. But what I think is that you identify basically a low-level devil or demon, probably demon, gargoyle demon, and then be like, now what would happen if we cyberpunked it the fuck out?
So that kind of, hands down, this thing is a fiend.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a fiend.
Like, what kind of Yu-Gi-Oh monster is it?
It's a fiend.
I thought it was a fiend. Yeah. I think I have a copy of this card somewhere in my old decks over there. I'm not about to go taking it up.
No.
So does fiend? This is giving me more demon vibes than devil vibes.
Hey Jay,
yeah?
You want to know something absolutely fucking wild?
Oh yeah?
There's 3 Ryukushin cards.
There's another one?
Yeah. Ryukushin Clown.
Oh, I do know about that one. Yeah, that's like a zombie or something, isn't it?
Have a look.
No.
It isn't. Oh yeah, it's a terrifying zombie clown, but it's still a fiend.
Great.
And it's an effect monster.
Oh my god.
It's somehow the least useless of the 3.
I mean, well, that depends. In the early days, because I was playing a game from the quite early days, Ryukushin powered was actually pretty fucking handy.
I mean, it's a 4-star with 1600 attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worthless, but it's pretty. It's up there with worthless.
Yeah. This is the thing, is like, I'm talking about Nightmare Troubadour, where one of the top cards you could play in your deck was La Jin, Mystical Genie of the Lamp.
Yeah. Those were good days. And then everybody was like, Vorse Raider!
Vorse Raider! Raider of Vorse!
Absolutely. The Raider of Vorse and the Twins of Gemini.
Exactly. And then I created an infinite loop Exodia stall deck, and the game became trivial until it broke.
I mean, that is how infinite loop Exodia stall decks work. That was
yeah.
I remember this. This was Gearfree the Iron Knight. Yeah, Magical Library. And a banned equip spell.
The banned equip spell was the thing, because after a certain point in the game, lets you put one banned card in. It was Butterfly Dagger Elma.
That was it. Butterfly Dagger Elma. Which, when it's destroyed, allows you to draw a card.
So by constantly bringing a knife to a library, I got to summon God.
Delightful.
Yep. Support your local library, kids.
Ryukushin powered a gargoyle enhanced by the powers of darkness. Very sharp talons make the worthy opponent. So it's a gargoyle that got mechified by the devil.
Okay, this is chaotic evil.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And I'm gonna say it's probably large. He's
He's
giving
probably
large
quite
vibes.
large.
Like big.
Yeah, he's a
creature.
big boy. Well, maybe. Yeah, large as opposed to anything bigger than that. I don't think he's big. I think he's just a chunky boy.
Yeah. Like, I mean, here's the thing. A gorilla is a large creature. A cow is a large creature.
Fair.
So he's kind of giving me like... So, I'm reckoning because he's like cyber augmented and stuff, he should probably have a decent AC.
Yeah. Let me just have a look. I'm looking at something like... So, like, I'm looking at, like, chain devils, which are in kind of CR8, as a kind of devil with robot parts. I think this might be... We could go a little more dangerous just for the funsies. There's no reason we can't make this guy more scary.
I mean, yeah.
But they got around about a CR... It's not CR. They got about an AC of about 16. Unless you want to make it, like... We could go, like, heavy armor and, like, low health just for the fun.
See, that's the thing, is it's specifically a gargoyle, which is a stone creature, that's been augmented with armor and the power of darkness. Like, I think we should be giving this thing a big, chunky AC, but not necessarily the most hitting potential, because it's only a 60 level attack monster.
Yeah. Yeah, like, big chunk, low twonk.
Give him...
I don't know what I'm going with.
Good armor, decent-ish HP.
Yeah.
And then, like, a single-ish attack. Like a one claw that it doesn't necessarily have a great bonus to hit, but it does hurt when it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow and powerful.
Yeah. Like, these things are meant to be a pro. So I'm thinking 18 AC.
Yeah. I'm on board with an 18 AC.
I'm going to call that augmented. If I can spell the word augmented right. Augmented carapace.
Yeah.
Definitely. Capaci.
Make the hit points.
How many hit points? Hit points is the one thing I'm really shit at estimating.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to pick
Dr.
a die
Quark.
first. What?
Sorry, another person in the chat. Someone called Dr. Quark.
Hello, Dr. Quark.
You still serving?
Oh, with a DOK. I was going to say, I'm on chat moderation. I'm doing a really bad job.
I was going to say, we are converting Yu-Gi-Oh monsters into D&D monsters because we thought it would be funny.
Yup. That's and instead we're taking it incredibly seriously.
We're taking it incredibly seriously because when we do homebrew, we do actually do good homebrew.
I like to think so.
That's the thing, is like...
Undiscovered geniuses of D&D homebrew, clearly.
Hey, the College of Profanity Bard was really solid.
Yes, and it has been playtested, and they loved it.
Yeah! I just need someone to test the passive aggression barbarian now.
Very excited for passive
And I did.
aggression
I finally sent Badger the Infernal Cleric today. He got the reference. He got the reference to the Reverend Ian Paisley. To which point he just sent me a screenshot of the ability name and just went, really? It's like, yeah. Anyway, so HP is something I am crap at estimating. So let's...
Well, should we leave that till last?
Well, I was just going to say, let's go look at a Chain Devil and then put an extra couple of dice on it.
So Chain Devil is 85, so it's 10d8 plus 40. So again,
12d8.
CR8.
12d8 plus 40?
Yeah, go on. Go on.
And what did you say the average of that was?
85 it was.
So this, I think, comes out at 93. My averages are bad.
That you have that information in your head at all upsets me.
Well, I know what the average of one die is. I just added that twice.
Fair. Yeah.
Imagine wolves, which act like wolves, adding...
B8 to make... Howl to
bonus
frighten
action,
condition.
howl to frighten condition. Giving the packed axe for that howl with a...
Just meant to say...
It's in the praise frightened. Okay, so extra vicious wolves.
I mean, I personally think that, you know, like, do all of that, but make them tiny and everything's better. Make it chickens.
I was gonna say, yeah, make that chickens.
That
So
that would be amazing.
What you've
That
essentially
would
done
ruin
there
everybody's day.
is you've taken both versions of the kobold and smushed them together.
Which is excellent.
Yeah, because the original kobold had pack tactics, which was great. And then the Fizzban's kobold got a roar they could use to scare people, which personally I don't like because it doesn't really feel very koboldy. But
I was gonna say, kobolds are not, like, scary.
No,
I
they're
feel.
not!
It's like, they're only scary when they're all attacking you simultaneously.
exactly.
Whereas
Kobolds are
wolves, it makes a lot more sense.
yeah, kobolds are only scary
like-
when there's 50 of them.
Exactly. Whereas I'm like, wolves, they come pack ready. Pack tactics makes a lot of sense for them. A lot of movement. And, you know, like, the scary howls sounds soup's good. 5e wolves instead to make it more wolves IRL.
Yeah,
That is very true. That
You
is
make a
very
point.
true.
You do make a
There
point.
You go.
it's
This is why I was gonna say
this is why
more
we
wolves
homebrew.
in Scotland.
No wolves in Scotland.
This is why we homebrew more wolves in Scotland.
Right. This
Anyway.
guy, this Ryokushin powered doesn't necessarily strike me as being particularly fast.
No, he's got tiny little legs.
Got tiny little legs and big, huge, like, taloned clown feet. So I'm thinking, do we keep his speed at the average 30 or do we drop it?
I'd drop it. I like the idea of people having to, like, come in to fight him and then run away again. That sounds quite fun. Drop
20?
it down to like 20, so it's not like
Right.
like it's the same as like so. Was a halfling not 25?
25, yeah.
I'd knock it down to 25 then.
Yeah, because this is a big lumbering
All the people with
motherfucker.
reach weapons will be delighted.
Right. Counter to that, I think we should probably give this thing good strength and good con.
Yes.
But probably not a lot. Maybe decent charisma within, like, an intimidation bonus.
That could be fun.
But
But
probably,
like terrible intelligence and wisdom.
I was going to say probably not a lot in intelligence and wisdom. And to be honest, probably not great on dex.
Yeah.
This thing
that's
doesn't
fair.
strike me as dexterous.
No.
So, 18
But
strength?
you know what would be 18?
Yeah, high strength.
Yeah,
Like, this thing should hit
Yeah,
you hard.
if we go 18 strength and con, because I'm thinking actually what would be really fun, because if we only give it if we make it slow and make it ponderous and everybody's like, oh dear, but then it's got like an ability that's a reach attack.
That's
and
what I
that
was
will
kind of
fuck
thinking.
people
yeah.
up.
'Cause
Yeah,
those are
that would
big
be really
arms.
funny.
It's got big arms.
They are
Damn claws.
big extendo claws.
Extendo claws.
Quite right.
Intelligence.
Why else do you become a machine augmented gargoyle except for extendo claws?
Intelligence 2. This thing is dumb as shit. This is just a. Come and
I was
scratch
gonna say,
fucking
what's the intelligence?
Minus
There's
4.
there's like a. No, I was gonna say there's like a threshold at which you don't get affected by a lot of spells. That
4.
Is it 4
I
intelligence?
think it's 3 or 4.
So below 4 intelligence, you're safe.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4.
Too dumb to be a danger.
Shadowhound incorporate. See, I like the incorporealness and a bright light because that makes the players use the environment and have to think very carefully about how they're doing things. And I really like that shit, and I need to do more.
You get to
of
like
it.
kind of puzzle enemies, and
Yeah.
we were talking about this earlier actually with some of the other monsters that we have on our list to do today, which is like it adds geography to a fight. You have to consider the environment, you have to consider the items you have available, you have to move. It makes fights more exciting and more interesting. Absolutely.
I'm gonna give him a 6 in Dex.
Good plan.
This is a big lumbering motherfucker, and probably a 6 in Wisdom as well.
That seems fair.
Yeah, just give it -2s in Dex and Wisdom, and then 14 in Charisma.
14 sounds good.
14 in Charisma. Give it a +2 with some saving throws. Bonus to Constitution. Don't give it a bonus to Intelligence and Wisdom. I'll give it a bonus to Charisma though. Yeah. Intimidation +6.
Yeah.
Passive perception of 9. Speaks Abyssal. Challenge rating. Fuck it, we'll work that out later. Innate spellcasting. Doesn't have that.
No.
Are there any abilities we should give this thing?
I'm just wondering about, in terms of, I don't know if this is the wrong end to go at, but like in terms of gargoyles and kind of golem-y type thing, wonder if there's anything we can poach and reflavor. We could give it some damage resistances. HP are wrong. If you go for level 12 equivalent, then it would be 12d8 plus 36. Claws make it area of effect attack. Miss it will break weapon or ammunition. Oh, that could be cool.
As in break its own? If attack misses it, as in it can break your opponent's weapon? As in it can break the player's weapon if they attack it and they miss. Give them a reaction.
That could be cool.
Personally, I do not like breaking weapons.
Fair.
Because that's a really fucking serious consequence. However, disarming, I'm very in favor of. Because I've got a little box that you can't really see down here, because my face is in the way. It's for reactions.
Yeah.
So we can give it a reaction. Last thing is, even if you're breaking a non-magical weapon, even if you're breaking a regular sword, say you're giving that to your barbarian or your fighter, suddenly that's them largely out of the fight. They get hamstrung incredibly violently. So I'm very much not in favor of breaking weapons. But it just kind of grabbing it and throwing it away, fuck yeah. Yes, but not everybody does. Most people do tend to stick to a single weapon while they're using it. So, again...
It also depends how generous a DM is with their loot.
They need to learn. Yes, but unfortunately you have to remember, some people are idiots. And we do occasionally have to cater to the idiots.
We do have a lot of idiots that play our D&D games.
Damn right we are.
I mean, we are some... Can't prune the idiots. We're some of the idiots.
Yes,
we are. That's why we're here, making Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters into D&D monsters. Because we are some of the idiots.
You know who that guy who only has the one axe is? It's me.
It's because he loves his axe. You are a great lover of this is my father's axe, and I have cherished it for many, many years until I get an enchanted axe that I love even more.
Just throw it over my shoulder, it's like, hey... See, that's the thing is, you have a horse. Then I have only ever played with one D&D, with one other character that has ever had a horse, and he only got it right at the end of the campaign.
I just feel like mounted combat stuff in D&D is mostly not worth it.
It can be very overpowered if you do it right, but also a lot of investment. Unless apparently you're a paladin now.
Oh yeah,
I will die on this fucking hill.
This is the new paladin rules. I know they piss you off. It's okay.
It's just the lack of flavor.
Right.
Anyway,
the majority of golems and constructs and things like that, given that we are sort of golem-esque, tend to have a magic resistance, magic weapons for the purposes of overcoming immunities and resistances, and occasionally some sort of damage absorption. Not fussed on the damage absorption, but I think probably the kind of like a magic resistance and magic weapons is like probably a good kind of standard for kind of, your abilities, and then it doesn't really need to go a lot further than that.
Yeah, so resistance...
It's a simple boy.
So that's... damage resistances... which is bludgeoning, piercing, Jesus, I can't spell today.
It's alright.
And slashing from non-magical weapons. So see you, your weapon. You better have some fucking magic on you. Should we give it resistance? Should we give it a resistance to anything else? Is there anything else we need to that might be an idea for this?
Poison.
Yeah, poison.
Yeah, this is Metal Boy. Why would he be poison? This is Metal Demon Boy. Or Metal Devil Boy, we said. Did we say devil or demon? I can't remember.
Put it down as a... I didn't actually... I think we were saying demon, but I forgot to write that down.
Well, yeah, demon. Metal Demon Boy.
Metal Demon Boy. Bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magic weapons. Poison. So he's resistant to non-magical damage. He's resistant to fish damage. I think that's probably it. We're probably looking at a lower CR for this thing.
Yeah. Aye, like it's not. That's so. If we don't give it multi-attack, I think that makes a big difference.
So I've got it down here. I've got it with the right bonus. I've got it giving it reach of 10 feet. I want to give it because at the moment this is basically just a reflavored greatsword. Actually, it should be a plus.
Rather than doing because the greatsword's 2d6.
Yeah.
So
2d6 plus 1d4 is what's written down here as the default.
But if we're gonna go, we could 100% go 4d6, one for each claw, but give it a lower bonus to hit, and it only attacks once.
Yeah, I'm down for that. 4d6 plus 4. Like this thing hits you hard, but don't hit too well. Yeah. So I'll go to plus 3.
Aye.
And then d6 plus 4 slashing damage. I'm gonna nix the fire damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Reaction.
Whereas
I do think the disarming thing could be cool.
That could be very cool.
But also that feels like we're doing a dumb monster. We're doing a dumb, violent beast.
Yeah. I feel like we saved the disarming thing for something more dangerous. Like this dude is supposed to be, we can throw it at a low-level party. They would still win.
Yeah. What we could do is we can give it a rampage ability. Similar to the clay golem, I think it is.
Have a look.
Basically, once the clay golem gets below a certain health threshold, it essentially gets hasted.
I mean, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Like once it gets below...
Berserk. Whenever the golem starts its turn with 60 hit points or fewer, roll a d6. On a 6, the golem goes berserk. On each of its turns while berserk, the golem attacks the nearest creature it can see. If no creature is near enough to move to an attack, the golem attacks an object, with preference for an object smaller than itself. Once the golem goes berserk, it continues to do so until destroyed or regains all its hit points. So, nothing like what you said at all.
I could have sworn it got I could have sworn it got a little boost.
Oh. Nope. No boost in there. It just loses its shit.
Must be thinking of something else.
It's a 4-star normal monster with 1600 attack. I think we've given it a reach weapon, which is unusual enough that it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know, but it's supposed to be like a mad creature augmented by the powers of darkness.
Again, I think because we've made it slow, I think we're good.
That's what we could do actually.
What?
We could go, once it gets below a certain threshold, drop its armor class and boost its speed.
So it goes from Ryukushin powered back down to Ryukushin.
Kinda.
The armor falls off it and it goes...
Yeah, kinda.
Barrel.
I like that. That's really fun, because that means that... Because say we're throwing this at a lower level party. That's...
Yeah.
It's a fairly beginner monster. Not necessarily a beginner monster, because it hits hard. But that
gives
it's like
them, that gives them a little interesting
twist.
Or
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes this more than just a beat stick. Which admittedly that's what the card is, but still.
Yeah. So do you want to say once it gets below Image invokes Insectoid. We're not going for Insectoid. Because because we're going for fiends and demons specifically. Drops below. We've gone. What's the health we've gone for again?
It's currently sitting at 93.
Okay.
Which I think my calculation's a bit off there, but eh.
But that's alright.
But yeah, it was just like rampage. Once it gets below, let's say
like 40 health.
Yeah, let's say 40.
Yeah, so it's like below half. Like we're in the kind of last, not like a little above the last third. Like it's certainly very takedownable once it's below 40 health.
Yeah, and I am thinking like drop its AC down to 14, but massively boost its speed up to like 35 or 40.
Okay.
Like suddenly it's coming after you, but it's a fuckload easier to hit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that feels good. And we're not doing anything like crazier than that. Like we're not adding new abilities. Once it gets to that, it's just it's suddenly. Yeah, it's just now it can run after you and it'll reach you.
It's basically jump scaring you.
Actually, yeah, it kind of is.
40 hit points or fewer. It starts to rampage. Its AC is reduced to 14, and its speed is increased to... I'm gonna say 40. Just give it like a big boost.
I think 40. Yeah, no, absolutely. So it can absolutely, definitely catch anybody that's...
Yeah, because that means like anyone who's within 50 feet. Like, this is... You've got it down, it's going to make a dive for your caster.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's already got a reach weapon, so it's like, yeah.
I was thinking more like it's been hit the carapace and its armor is kind of cracking and falling off. So maybe not like all of it, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to remove the reaction section. But yeah, I think that's it. We've made a nice low level monster. Not necessarily low level. You can throw this at a level 5 party.
Yeah.
This is probably a CR5 monster.
Yeah.
I don't know what the XP.
What did you give for the bonus to hit?
What?
What did you give for the bonus to hit?
+3. Not very much.
Yeah. No, that's what I was thinking.
Like very low.
Yeah, I was gonna potentially argue for a +4, but I'm happy with a +3.
Yeah, this thing is worth 1800 XP.
And
that, my friends, is Ryokushin powered.
That is the very first monster we've homebrewed on stream.
Yay! I know it's too low for a plus. I know it should be +7 as its base. I know that's how much it should be. However, because of the way we've done this as a lower level monster with a high amount of damage, game balance wise, we're just switching it up to increase that. What I should probably do is reduce the strength. I should reduce the strength and then give it a boost to the saving throws.
A monster.
We're getting a lot of doctors
Dr.
in.
Sartre. Doctor, he's the doctor in Sartre specifically.
Jean-Paul Sartre said that hell was being stuck in a room with your friends. Holly, all his mates were French.
Hey.
Bit of Red Dwarf in there.
Oh dear. Absolutely.
So yes, I have rolled again. We've got number 9, which is another one of yours, which is going to be much more interesting.
Oh.
We have Double Coston.
Oh, this one I kind of threw in because I was like, this will be weird as fuck.
Yeah, I'm just gonna save this.
Yeah, I was gonna say save the first one we did. Don't lose it.
Yeah, but I just need to save it so I don't save over the template.
Yeah. Save as new file.
I know, but I don't want people seeing my file structures and stuff.
That is very fair.
Which is why I put Double Coston over the
secret
thing.
Yeah.
So
right.
Double Coston is definitely gonna be one of those ones that's getting weird with it.
Yeah, right. While you do your saving, Dr. Quark has a fun idea for this. Stop showing us your file structures. Dr. Quark, what you got? What you reckon for this? What are your thoughts? If hit by magic, it's duplicates? Oh, like a Hydra. More heads, more danger. That could be a lot of fun. See? It's a low level monster, except every time it gets hit by a spell, it takes no damage and it adds more. And then you're like, oh shit, there's so many of them!
See, we could do a little bit of including the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mechanics in this. Because Double Coston's main thing is that it can be treated as 2 tributes for a dark monster.
Yeah.
So what you could do is if you do that splitting thing, once there's enough of it, it summons a bigger, scarier thing.
Do the wishy-washy. Eventually, many become huge!
Yes!
It will become the greatest black pudding. Also, if it's immune to non-magical damage and it multiplies when it's hit by magic, that's silly. That just means you can't kill it. That's
Yeah, no, like, this does not need to be... I think what this should be is a low-level monster that you get in swarms that you try and deal with, and as soon as you deal with... Like, the insidious thing about this is that you'll use up your features your features and your spells trying to deal with the small ones, but by doing that, you'll make them multiply, and then they'll summon a big thing, and it's like, oh, fuck.
I'm on board with this. I like this plan. So now we got to decide.
This is a zombie type monster. This thing is either undead or an ooze.
It feels very ooze-like.
It feels very ooze.
Yeah. Lots of little ones coming together to make a big one. Feels
this is
very
ooze territory. And besides, we don't actually have enough like good, interesting ooze type monsters. Like you get ooblexes, which could be very interesting if you're doing like a horror campaign. And then kind of there's nothing between them and then like no, because that was a thing I got out of a Kobold Press book. The Oozasis, if you remember that one.
Oh yeah, the enormous fucking lake that you threw at us.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was horrifying.
Yeah, we know plasmoids and ooze, but this is like the monster itself in Yu-Gi-Oh is a zombie type. So I was thinking either undead, but the splitting and this kind of thing feels very ooze-like. I don't think we're quite at aberration, because this is not an eldritch horror. It's a silly little guy who's gonna eat your soul.
But I mean, I think in the argument for aberration, I think silly little guy that becomes nightmare tidal wave that kills your children is pretty eldritch.
Right, do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking is that we don't...
is a silly large group that filled the lake.
Is that when you get enough of these in an area, it spawns a despair from the dark.
Then it's an aberration.
Then it's an aberration. That's a big fucking scary aberration.
Yeah, so actually that's the difference. Is if we make it an ooze, all of the little things have to join together to become the monster.
Yes.
If it's an aberration, all of the little things are sacrificed to create the monster or to summon the monster.
And that makes more sense for Double Coston.
It does.
So
alright, aberration.
Aberration here.
We are eldritch creature. Has a water mimicry? A puddle or a lake? I feel like...
No, I think we're past that.
I think if we stick with the little guy, that's rather than like puddles.
I'm thinking it should be small.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely should be small.
Yeah. Small aberration, neutral evil.
Yeah.
Because alignment doesn't actually matter that much. I'm thinking low AC and lots of ways to annoy the players.
Yeah, that definitely feels like the vibe we're going for.
We're kind of making an evil flump here.
We are.
Don't fuck with the flumps.
No, you don't fuck with the flumps.
AC.
Alright, let me have a...
Yeah, let's find a flump. 135. Oh, that's a Fomorian.
Looking at our
Flump.
base aberration.
They are small aberrations. They are lawful good. They've got an AC of 12, and they've got 7 hit points.
I mean, that sounds ideal. So see, your other really low level one aberration, gibbering mouthers, which I feel like I've heard of, but I can't remember.
Imagine a crap Maw-mouth.
Yeah, that's very much the vibe.
Yeah.
But it's like, but again, it's tiny, but it's got multi-attack, and it can explode.
See, the main thing would be the division, and it's dividing into new things. So I think that should happen. No, I don't
Fucking silvery barbs. A low CR monster. What the hell? Give it silvery barbs. Fuck up every single player.
Nobody's allowed to roll well. Nah. I think this thing should have some spellcasting though. Because I think this is meant to fuck with and entice your players. So I think it should maybe be able to. It should definitely be able to cast Minor Illusion. Like this is
like
itty bitty thing. We're talking like a CR 1/4 maximum creature here, but there's going to be fucking hundreds of them.
Yes.
Well, that's true. There's annoy players and make them want to drive their dice through the DM's eyes. There's levels to this, Quark.
Maybe the fun thing then, just going off previously, our friend the Doctor in the chat had suggested. Well, no, we've got 2 doctors in the chat. Sorry, the Quark Doctor, talking about duplicating wind magic. Immune. How about the thing is that they're immune specifically to magic, or like if they're killed by a magic attack or a magical weapon, a spell or a magical weapon, then they explode and become more.
Yeah.
Only non-magical attacks will kill them and not spawn more. Because realistically, if you send this against a high-level group of players, all of their stuff is going to be magical.
Yeah. So their only option is going to be to punch them to death.
Yeah. Which would be delightful. Yeah. Barbarian paradise.
You just get this high-level paladin who's like, I have all these magical powers and the divine essence of a god. I'm just knocking fucking lumps out of these squishy bastards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you kill them with a spell or a magical weapon, they die and they become more.
Yeah. So let's give them like tiny amount of hit points.
Yes. So that people will waste shit on them.
I'm going to build this off the Flump. The Flump has 2d6 of HP, so 7 average.
Okay.
I think 7 or 10 is a good idea. If we're thinking of throwing this as a as in each point of HP over the amount of damage they do spawns a new one.
You imagine if like a crowd of them were hit with fireball, you would immediately totally overrun the map.
Yeah.
That would be almost unplayable.
That is
delightful, but almost unplayable.
That is a cool idea. However, speaking as a long-time DM, the management of that many fucking tokens makes me want to tear my eyes out.
And that many initiative rolls.
You would have to use group initiative, but Jesus. And also,
Horde
that many
mechanics
anything in D&D will beat you to death.
Yeah.
And brown mold exists in like one area in Saltmarsh, and Saltmarsh is not a fair campaign. Don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Saltmarsh is just there to be cruel.
See, that's a thing. If you go with 7 HP and then every 7 HP overkill with magic spawns a new one.
That's much more reasonable.
That's a lot more reasonable if they're going for 1 HP. And then... That's the thing is, if you go...
per one.
That's the thing is, if they have 1 HP, and even if you throw this at a low-level party, your average fighter is dealing 1 attack at level 1 with a long sword. They're probably dealing, on average, about 6 or 7 damage.
Yeah, because it's a D8 plus...
It would be a D8, I'm assuming 3, as their strength mod there.
Aye.
That's how you lose
I get the impression that Dr. Quark likes TPKing people.
I'm getting that feeling.
How many TPKs do you have in your history? And have you gotten a framed plaque for everyone? Oh dear. That may be unkind. I apologize if it is. Oh dear.
So,
right.
30-foot fly speed with a hover.
Oh, okay.
Well, this thing's going to be flying about.
Yeah, it feels like a little fly. That's fair.
I imagine these things sort of fly, just sort of bombing about, being distracting, but not actually doing a lot of damage, and so you're like swatting at them, and then they kind of go. Bang!
Well, that being the case, then, do you want to give them a lower movement amount then, just to make them less threatening, so the thing that is threatening is how many of them there are?
See, the traditional
if they
player,
can't reach, yeah.
The traditional, if we think sort of metagame this a little bit, the player instinct is something has gotten near to me, I'm going to deal with it. Like something has gotten near to me, I will deal with it. So I think getting these things to run up to you, but not actually being a threat. But you have to go bang, and then they multiply, and you go, oh god, bigger bang.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. 30 movement work. I was going to say no TPKs, but many derailed campaigns. Sounds delightful.
To be fair, we've all had some derailed campaigns.
I mean, I don't think I've ever run a campaign that was on the rails at this point. Yeah. But then, to be fair, I made the mistake of playing with people who brought physics to a D&D fight, and that's just...
Look!
Never run a game for engineers.
Sometimes you just have to kill a mountain.
No, you're not. Stop killing the mountain. It wasn't the mountain's fault.
Cliff deserved it, okay?
It had a family, damn it!
Not anymore. Not anymore, it fucking don't.
Oh, dear.
I did a full-on rods from God on that thing.
You did. That was beautiful.
NAK transmutation? What?
I don't know what
know that abbreviation. Wait. I was going to say, is that chemical notation?
Yes, it is chemical notation. We were foolish! That's the kind of nonsense that my party would have come up with. Oh dear.
Science is a last resort in D&D, okay? Because it breaks everything. Okay, we all know about the peasant cannon.
The peasant cannon's not science, though!
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's a combination between science and rules nonsense.
Yes, the peasant cannon is about acceleration.
Yes.
Get some buff peasants.
I was going to say, the peasant cannon proves that Sir Isaac Newton truly is the biggest badass in space.
Yeah, he's the most badass motherfucker in all of space. Right. So, double cost done.
Double cost done. Back on topic.
Strength, not very high.
No, very low.
We'll give this very low strength.
Yeah, like a 4?
Like a 4 or a 5.
Yeah.
Give it a 5. Give it a 5. Which is a -3. So these things you can just fucking whiffle bat around.
Yeah. Featherfall is magic specifically to not kill you.
Yes.
That's, that becomes a suspension of disbelief.
Dexterity. I think their dexterity should be good because they're wee nippy fuckers.
Yeah, that's fair. And like a 12?
12 or, that's 13, so it's a plus 1.
Yeah.
Constitution. Nah, these are not hardy.
No.
So I'm going to leave it a flat 10 so I don't have
what
to mess with health.
Yeah.
Because Flumps have got a flat 10.
Yeah.
Intelligence. Should we make them smart or should we make them smart?
I think they're smart.
Yeah.
I think they're uncannily smart.
Again, I'm looking at...
Because they're eldritch horrors.
I'm looking at Flump and Make It Evil. Flumps have a 14 in intelligence.
Bump it up to 16. Go on. Just for the resistance. Just to fuck with people.
Yeah, let's give it a +3 for its int. How about Wisdom? Should they be wise?
No.
No. These things are suicidal.
Yeah.
Like,
they're here to die.
Bang!
Like, they know what they're doing when they're dying, but they're here to die.
Yeah, so that's a minus. I'm going to give that a -1.
Yeah, that's fair. Like an 8.
And I think probably, a flat charisma, but like a bonus to saving throws. Because aberrations and charisma cute. Saves are fairly... That's a thing, right?
I have no idea. I don't know a lot about aberration. You know what? Actually, all of the aberrations I'm looking... Oh, no, that one's good. No, most of them have negative charisma.
Oh, okay.
Except for aboleths. Aboleths have fucking 18 charisma. Presumably because of that one Puffin Forest video where the aboleth was cute.
Aboleths do a lot of mind control. So they're more about intelligence saves and stuff. Yeah. These are cute! Double cost on is cute.
Double cost on is.
I'm going to give a bonus to charisma and dex saves.
Yeah. Absurd monster soon.
Oh god.
It's a monster that's a little bit of everything.
Oh god, it's the monster that is of every type. Tell you what tell you what we should have done. Get like Slot Machine. The Slot Machine, which is like one of the worst level 7 monsters ever, because it's only got 2,000 attack. And then it just rolls a new type of creature and a new stat block every time, so we turn it into an absolute fucking abomination.
That would be absolutely amazing.
It would also be an enormous stat block.
Oh yeah, oh god, it would be... That would be well more than 2 hours to fucking make. Yeah. That would be horrendous.
Are there any skills this thing should have?
Well, specifically the skill of when it's killed by magic, it creates 2 more.
I know, but I meant like insight, performance, persuasion.
Oh, that kind of skill.
Yeah.
Because it's cute, I kind of want to give it a bonus to persuasion. Just for
deception. Give it a bonus to deception, because we're talking like...
That's true. Deceptively cute. And then it summons an eldritch monstrosity.
Yep. Passive perception, again, goes down to 9. Languages...
Performance has been suggested. Languages, none. It does not speak. Actually, no, deep speech, isn't it?
Deep speech is the language of aberrations, and these things are quite clever, so yeah, maybe deep speech.
Yeah.
Languages, deep speech, just not for long. Okay, I know I talked about minor illusion, but should we give this thing spellcasting?
If we were gonna get a cantrip, we would give it minor illusion.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Unless you want to give it prestidigitation just for shits and giggles. That just occasionally make sparkles and clean each other and taste of garlic.
See, this is the thing: is I now want to create like a little goblin that just it doesn't fight the party; it just sneaks around them and makes all their food taste like shit.
That would be a great monster.
It's a goblin with just absurdly high stealth, but only knows prestidigitation.
That would be stunning. That would be just the best.
So annoying.
Imagine if you're running like a mystery campaign, or even if you like take a break from your campaign and you're doing like a traveling day for your session, and you just like, you know, the party's camping for the evening, and you're like, all your food tastes like shit. But it's like, what the hell?
It's like you take a bite of stew and it tastes like horse shit. Undisturbed, you take another bite and it tastes like urine. Just changes the taste every time, and it's always something horrible.
That would be amazing. And they've got to figure out what's going on.
Why does all our food taste bad? I made
There's
a
one
cake!
fucking goblin.
I made a cake, and why does it taste like feet?
The only person who spots it is the ranger because you're on their favorite terrain.
Yeah.
There's no other reason.
I was like, what? I was like, I have a favorite enemy. What is it? Assholes.
Oh, that would be delightful.
Right. Do we want to give it any other spells?
Nah, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Again, the feet. Imagine cake tasting like blue cheese.
I'm trying not to.
Some people would like that. I'm sorry. Like, there are people in this world who love blue cheese, and those people are weird. But I'm lactose intolerant. I can't really comment on cheese.
I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, I'm like
double
nice.
up. I'm gonna call its ability double up.
Quite right.
Right. Okay. Whenever this creature is brought to 0 hit points by a spell or a magical weapon.
Magical weapon. Yeah. Imagine throwing this against a monk.
It's like, my hands are magic! I have no choice! Past level 6, their hands are magic!
Yup! There we go. We've officially created the ultimate monk killer.
It's a shame because they just made monks really good.
Are they actually?
Yeah, the 2024, like, admittedly, I will shit on the 2024 Player's Handbook for basically all of its flavor choices and some of its mechanical stuff. However, monks, they've buffed massively, and sorcerers now look like a class I might want to play.
That's cool.
Which is really cool, because every time I look at sorcerers, I just kind of go, yeah, but why wouldn't I play a wizard?
I mean, fair. I like sorcerers because I like the flavor that comes with them innately.
Yeah, the flavor's
and
great.
I like some of the ability stuff.
The flavor is great. I would multi-class into a sorcerer in a heartbeat on a lot of things. But playing like a primary sorcerer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, D&D, I don't know, Wizards of the Coast
with scum.
Can go
Wizards
fuck
of the Coast
themselves.
scum.
They can absolutely go fuck themselves.
No. Paying for D&D Beyond and forcing people to use it and like monopolizing any type of role-playing game kind of simulation on the internet.
Yeah.
Nah, Wizards of the Coast can suck
And they
it
tried
up.
to revoke everybody's 2014 content on D&D Beyond.
Oh, fuck that!
Yeah, and the community, who are still on edge after the whole OGL thing, bit them.
Yeah. Good.
So you will get the choice between
shit.
2014 and 2024 stuff.
I'm like, if you've already, because D&D Beyond force you to pay for the book again, because you've probably already bought it in real life, and then you've got it again on the internet, you're like, no, to revoke that from people is such a scummy move. That is just like, that's some Google level shite.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro Wizards has been doing some bad shit. Bad shit. Like
I wish they would just go back to making Transformers games and, stop messing up all of this shit. Good Transformers games.
To be fair, there have actually been, apparently the last few Transformers games, although there's not been very many of them, and not recently. No. Apparently they were actually pretty fucking good, like War for Cybertron and Devastation were really good.
I heard great things about both of them. Yeah. And everybody I know who played them was like, these are brilliant. And I was like, okay. It's just TTRPGs that they were like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah. It's because Hasbro bought them and went, nah, you're not making enough money. And it's just like...
Yeah. It's the model of perpetually increasing infinite growth. It's a fucking nonsense.
That's the business side of things.
Yeah.
On the design side of things, it's a lot more nuanced.
But the business side of things is what fucked up the design side of things.
Yes.
Because it's incredibly difficult to create something that's going to be fulfilling and, the right kind of creative steps and, artistically what is needed to be done when you're being driven by profit, monetize. Yeah, fucking, it's garbage. Scumbags. Anyway, I work in theatre, and we've just had yet more funding cuts to theatre in Scotland, so I'm a bit bitter about money.
You and me both, buddy.
Yeah. Evil. All right, the evil. Back to now. The chat is bringing us to task. Back to the evil flump.
See, that's the thing is evil. That's the thing. Flumps are small.
Yeah, to be fair,
a flump could pick up a gnome.
Yeah, I do quite like this idea though of flying through people to damage them.
It is kind of cool. Give them a. So I think we're gonna give them 3 abilities, which is the double up, the summon new thing when there's lots of them.
Yeah.
And then do like 1 point of damage by flying through creatures.
Yeah.
So let's call this ghostly. I don't know.
Let's just call the ability Despair from the Dark.
No, I'm gonna call that the summoning ability.
Okay. Oh, we on the bad touch.
Yeah, we're on the bad touch.
Okay.
Double
bad touch first.
Double cost on can pass through another creature's space as if it were unoccupied. I've definitely spelled that wrong. There's 1 N and 2 C's. If
I say, what do you think I am, Grammarly? I don't know what you're doing.
Takes 1 point of necrotic damage. Because it's a spooky thing flying through. It's either going to be necrotic damage or force damage.
Yeah, necrotic. Let's you know.
Yeah.
This is how it's got to be.
Okay, should we be bastards and maybe psychic?
Psychic because Eldritch Horrors fuck with your brain.
Psychic makes more sense. We're veering a bit away veering a bit away from the base card, but to be honest, we were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you know.
However,
we made Ryukushin powered far more dangerous than the fucking card is.
But this, it does provoke opportunity attacks because that means they still get another chance to smack it and double them. Because this thing wants to die.
Absolutely, yes. We need it to provoke opportunity attacks. Like, whee!
So, how many of these things should there be to summon a Despair from the Dark? Okay. What level is Despair from the Dark?
Well, I think it should be summoning, like,
No,
100 is too many. 20 might be better.
As a DM, I'm not managing 100 creatures. I did sort of like set up a plan for it where I was going to like drop my players into a vat of crawling claws, which are literally just disembodied hands. And I looked at it and I looked at how much of a problem that would be. 100 of anything in D&D will kill everyone.
Yeah.
The action economy will beat them to death.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, Despair from the Dark's a level 8 creature, so if you start with one of these, and then just splits and splits and splits and splits, until there's 8 of them.
Well, say if you've got if your average party is 4 or 5 adventurers.
So it's always based on 4.
Always based on 4. So our party is of 4. One of these guys is going to split into 2, 4, 6. Probably we're looking at like 8 to 10 by the end of the first round.
So let's say 20 then.
Yeah.
Even 20 tokens is a lot to manage.
Yeah, but the joys is that once it hits 20, they disappear. That I think is the bit that forgives it as a DM, so you're not having to get into horde mechanics. And also, fire 2, 4, 6 fireball. Or you can just summon it first round.
If your player, if you have a particularly zealous paladin who goes smite and throws a big smite list, you can summon a lot of these things.
I mean, actually, what you really want is you want a monk with flurry of blows punching fucking like hundreds of them. That's what you really want.
So that's it. Because we've done it where the number of duplicates is equal to 1 duplicate for every 7 points of damage over the creature's hit points before it reaches 0. One big hit. Like, remember when I told you about the swords paladin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? That's
paladin
fair. That's fair.
Or a rogue with sneak attack.
Yeah. Oh god. Could you imagine you sneak attack?
An assassin rogue is going to walk into this and just
insta-kill it with so hard.
It's like, oh, auto crit with sneak attack. Oh my god, where did that thing come from?
That's fair. That's fair.
If there are 20 double cost-ons, I'm going to put a range limit and say within 30 feet of each other because they're kind of swarming together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I had forgotten the 7 over health thing, so I apologize. That's my brain had gone walkabout. I went to flurry of blows because I was like, number of hits. I'm like, no. It's actually size of hit. I apologize. 30 foot is 36 spaces, meaning you need 60% occupancy.
Yeah, that sounds good.
30-foot radius, though. Sorry, I'll stop. Yeah, and then, and again, if this is like a level 8 or level 10 party that we're talking about, summon something real big and scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a very fun thing as a DM because what you're doing is you're like, oh, here's a little monster. I'm throwing you a nice little easy battle. Whoa, giant monster. Giant shadow creature.
Absolutely. Especially because they'll first say it and they're like, oh, this is small and cute. Then it goes for them. Slash it through your reaction. And then you're like, oh fuck, now there's lots of them.
Right, you look at that tongue and you tell me that thing doesn't know lick. It'll just fly up to you, violate your personal space, and fly away. So, should we give them an attack?
So, we've got the fly through people attack, which we could do it as a dash attack.
Yeah, just take the dash action for just constantly.
Yeah, like its attack is making the dash action. It's taking the dash action to run through somebody. But it can run through lots of people. I mean, that would be fun.
They can always take the dash action, because if we remove attacks, then they're just going whee and flying through you and being dicks.
Oh yeah, because we've already got that in the abilities, don't we? Because we've got bad touch.
Yeah, we've got the bad touch.
Yeah. In which case, no, absolutely. We don't need to give them an attack. They're good as they are. They're already beautiful.
So, but should it have any actions as well?
No, because again, the point of it is not for it itself to be dangerous. It's for the thing that comes next.
Well, it doesn't need. These do not necessarily need to be dangerous attacks.
Action to annoy.
Tell you what you can do. Oh no, that's probably too complicated. I was thinking give them a thing where they can sort of like provoke a
taunt.
Kinda, yeah, they can taunt a creature, and then you roll a d4, and like the first 3 effects are just like little annoying effects, but if you roll a 4, then you get to make a free attack on them. But yeah, that seems like overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, nixing actions.
I was thinking more like, so our Quark has suggested compelled duel, which is kind of where my brain was going. Like the paladins compelled duel, so you could use them to break up the party, to move the party apart from each other.
Yeah. Give each of them a
like a little follow me ability.
Yeah, once per day they can cast compelled duel.
Force someone to follow them.
Yeah. Come and get me.
Well, Now this is where we come into my issue with compelled duel, which is compelled duel doesn't force someone to follow you. It just means that they can't move further away from you.
Yeah, which does suck a little bit, but also
Yeah, so
it also breaks if you
move too far away from them.
However, these things are
move during COVID. That would have been really helpful.
What?
Compelled duel, so they can't actually change their distance, so they need to stay 5 feet apart.
My wife, ladies and gentlemen, who believes that compelled duel would have solved COVID.
I think turn undead.
That is a joke.
I think,
just to be very clear, that is a joke.
I think turn undead would have been better.
Yeah, turn undead would have been great for my neighbours.
So here's the thing.
Anyway,
compelled duel means they can't move further away from you. Wait, is it they can't move further away from you, or they can't move more than 30 feet?
They can't move more than 30 feet. I will tell my wife that you say she has a lovely accent.
That's it. Right.
She's going to look at you like you're affy weird, but I'll tell her.
Who the fuck said I had a lovely accent?
The chat says you have a lovely accent.
Someone we know in the chat?
I don't think so.
Thank you! You're weird!
Told you.
That's
the thing that if you could compel people to not move any further away, basically the opposite of the frightened condition.
Yeah. Or
these things are always flying at you.
Yeah. I don't know if it's either that or it's it's like after you kill one of them, you have to make a charisma save. And if you fail, then you have to chase one of the ones that's appeared after you killed the last one.
See, I think that'll happen organically, just with the way players are. Because oh shit, new monsters, we've got to deal with this.
Yeah. Well, then let's not add anything then. We've already made it perfect at that point. Let's stick with what we've got.
That's it.
Berserker after killing one. Give everybody a free action. It's like, fuck, what's the...
I was going to say,
what's
I think there's a mic in it that does that.
I was thinking of XCOM 2.
Oh, the Muton.
No. In the DLC, when there's the plague zombie
alien
creatures.
lords.
No, when you're fighting the husks, all of the little zombie creatures, and you get free headshot on each of them, so you just run a whole round. That's that.
Forgot
it's
about
like you kill one, you get a free attack.
God, I want to play XCOM 2 again so badly.
I know, it's so fucking good, man. I can't go back to the file I'm on just now. It's just I play it on. I'm playing the maximum difficulty, and it's just so cruel. I need to take month-long breaks between attempts.
I think it's been long enough since I played XCOM 2 that I can go back to it, because I played Chimera Squad. And Chimera Squad's fun. It's not as good as XCOM 2 by a long shot, but it's very much XCOM scaled down, but it does work.
Yeah, which is fair, and it keeps the franchise alive, and hopefully it means when we get XCOM 3, it's going to be immaculate.
If somebody that's the thing is, if somebody had announced XCOM 3 rather than Borderlands 4, I would have. No, I can't. I'm not finishing that sentence. This is way too graphic.
Come out.
Oh yeah, there's an XCOM coming out, which is wizards.
Oh, Tactical Breach Wizards.
Yeah, Tactical Breach Wizards.
Yeah, apparently it's really good.
It looks quite fun. I'm very, very tempted to play it.
Yeah, a friend of mine's been playing it and he highly recommends it.
Alright.
Got it sent on my wish list. Anyway, I think that's double cost on.
I think that is double cost on. I think we nailed it. I think we probably spent 10 minutes more on it than we actually needed to.
Yeah. So.
Should we try for one more and see if we can do it in half an hour?
Yep. 6.
Alright.
What is 6? 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh! It's the one you were looking forward to, my friend. It is Cocoon of Evolution.
Excellent. Although I feel kind of bad now, because the 3 we've done have all been my picks.
Well, do we want to do one of mine then?
I feel like it's only fair. After having done 2 of mine, we should do one of yours.
Alright then. Can I pick?
What?
Should I pick one, or should I,
Well, which one were you most excited to do?
I mean, there's two sides to that. There is... I really wanted to do Fortress Whale.
Yami Makai.
I really wanted to do Fortress Whale because giant thing and you're battling on the back of it, but we're not doing that in half an hour.
No, that would be a lot.
I'm going to pick the next one.
Oh.
Catapult Turtle.
Okay.
Let's fucking catapult some turtles.
I do like Dr. Quark, though, that you said Yami Makai.
King of Yami Makai. Jesus.
It's another one of those really shit monsters.
Yeah.
From Gen 1 that just, like, it needs a home. It needs some love.
No, it doesn't. It needs put down.
It does.
It needs either put down or given proper support with something like fucking Castle of Dark Illusions actually being worth shit.
I was so gutted when I discovered the whole Pumpkin King of Ghosts and Castle of Dark Illusions thing only lasts 4 turns.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, only 4 turns? That is gross. Railgun charge, it casts catapult at level 9. Level 9 catapult.
The fuck? Does catapult actually upcast? So I think catapult... I'm gonna double check, because my brain's saying catapult upcasting just lets you throw bigger things, but I think that's wrong. Also, nah man, I got a way more interesting idea for that.
Catapult. It does upcast. And it allows you to throw heavier things and it increases the damage.
Yeah. So, nah, fuck that. This is one of the times where, like, I'm gonna stick very hard to the card source material. Firstly, this is gonna be a large construct.
Fair.
Because I love me some constructs. And what it's gonna do, because Catapult Turtle's ability is that you can sacrifice a... Why would it be an undead construct? You can sacrifice a monster you control to smack your opponent in the life points for, I think it's the monster's attack.
No, it's half its defense.
Half its defense, my apologies.
Is it half its defense? I'm gonna Google this again, sorry. Because my for some reason my most powerful memory of it is of Catapult Turtle is when it was used in the anime to destroy Millennium Shield in that bit between the Duelist Kingdom arc and the next thing. Yeah, before Battle City when they actually wrote the rules. I know, right? And still broke them.
Constantly. But so my idea is that you would have this as like the centerpiece of a bunch of other monsters. Like, this is something that a bunch of goblin artificers cobbled together. And you would fire it. It would be able to fire a creature at another creature and inflict damage to that creature equal to half the fired creature's hit points. Yeah, and yes, half the fired creature, half the tributed monster's attack. Yeah. So I'm thinking just directly just whoop, whoop, boom. But whatever it fires gets immediately killed. Oh, 100%. Thing. And there was a tournament, so I in my deck 7th out of 30. 7th out of 31 is pretty great, to be fair. That's good. I can proudly say that I have won the only Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, the only actual Yu-Gi-Oh tournament I've entered. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Black Wings, baby! I was going to say, was the pal you went with not absolutely fucking raging? If I remember correctly, he wasn't actually... He was raging because he wasn't there. Oh, that's alright then. He hadn't come back to town yet. He was still back home. Oh dear. And I already knew these guys. I got the invite. And I went, yeah, alright, I'll go. And I won. There you go. And he was really hacked off. Because also, I then never went to a tournament with him. He was an arsehole. Yeah. Right, so, I'm thinking big AC, chunky hit points, fuck all speed. This thing cannot move.
No, absolutely.
Catapult looks like a railgun, probably. I'm thinking you just smash somebody and do force damage to them.
Yeah, I'm far more keen on the idea that it's like a big thing in the middle of a mob, and it's throwing the mobs at the players.
This is why
like,
I thought
that's far more fun.
This is why I thought goblins, because goblins can be particularly suicidal at times.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
you
I'm
want
thinking
to be like
full on 20 AC.
Deal.
Like this thing should be an entrenched thing.
Yeah.
That is hard to get rid of, but it means that your entire game plan is now, I'm not giving it 24 AC. Are you fucking crazy?
Again, to be fair, it depends what level of player we're aiming this at.
Yeah, right, that is the question. Dr. Quark, I've gotten a lot of, a big feeling from you this evening. Do you tend to play in higher level campaigns? As in 10 or above?
And is this why you've been banned from playing with casters?
Because every single suggestion you have given
No. They gave very good suggestions for double cost on.
Come on. Some good suggestions for double cost on and a couple decent ones for Ryukushin that we ended up not using. But 24 AC with a low deck. Yeah, this thing's going to be non-dexterous at all.
There you go. Like that's fairly reasonable.
I can maybe stretch it to 22, but 24 AC is difficult because your main...
What kind of stuff has 24 AC?
Very few things. Your main your main way of dealing with this is going to be ranged weapon attacks and spells. No, a lot of... I don't believe many dragons have... I mean, an ancient blue dragon has 22 AC. Ancient green, 21. Got an ancient red in here. Ancient black has 22. Ancient red, 22. So 22 is sort of your ancient dragons kind of AC.
Yeah.
But
like a Kraken, a CR 23 has 18 AC.
Krakens should be way stronger than that.
I know they should.
But yeah, like 20 is kind of your main, and again, if we're positioning this in the center of large mob, I'm thinking high strength, high con, 2s across the board and everything else.
That seems fair.
Yeah. Like 20s in strength and con, and then 2s across the board. Like this thing does not have... This is just a robot. It doesn't have a mind. It's... The capacity for intelligence or wisdom saves are... Or
negligible.
Are fuck all.
Yeah, that's fair. But it does mean also immune to being, frightened, charmed, any of that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to combat the total non-existence of intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
And I do want to give it resistance to psychic damage.
Yeah, because no brain.
Immunity to psychic damage. It doesn't have a brain. It doesn't have a psyche to attack.
Absolutely.
20 AC. Movement of
10 feet.
10 feet. Hit points. Big. Like this is...
Of the philosophy that you can just make something which looks on the first glance as hard to hit, but having it no dex save means you can hit it with DPS as spells. That's fair. But it can limit who gets to hit the thing.
That's the thing, is if you have... Say, okay, this thing is entrenched on one side of an area with pitfalls and stuff with the goblins, and your party's on the other side. Your party is a warlock, a ranger, and a barbarian. The barbarian basically gets nothing to do except run straight at the enemy for 4 turns. The ranger can pick off the things surrounding it, but the warlock is the only one who can actually damage the big thing. This is true of a lot of other classes because it is true that a number of classes inherently have really bad ranges. Like for example,
but we like to give more options on how to fight.
Yeah, we like to be able to throw these things. I want to be able to throw this at a party and not worry about their composition. You don't have a party which mold earth and make trenches. Yeah, but what then?
Yeah, that doesn't do anything against the turtle.
The main thing that you do in trench warfare is die.
This is also true.
Did the 1940s teach you nothing?
Right. Anyway, we have a giant turtle surrounded by little mobs, and we're gonna do stuff with him.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
we've got our stats. We've got our AC. We'll figure out hit points later.
Yeah. The hit points are gonna be honkus. Saving throw, bonus to Constitution and Strength saves. Because most strength saves are to be like moved around usually.
Yeah.
And this thing should be like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not getting moved for nothing.
So I'm thinking +9 to strength and con saves.
Yeah, that works for me.
Skills doesn't have any.
No, doesn't need any.
Actually, no. Well, there's probably a goblin sitting in the back here aiming it.
That makes it a land vehicle.
I mean, kinda.
Could you imagine grappling this? It wouldn't do anything. It would just reduce its already non-existent movement speed to 0.
Yeah, grappling's not that great. And also, grappling a large creature's really hard unless you spec for it.
Yeah, I was like, you'd have to have a Goliath. No,
it should be immune
grapple
to being
doesn't.
prone.
Yeah, I was immune to being prone. We'll give it that. But yeah, grappling doesn't make you prone. One of the problems with 5e is grappling is crap. Yeah.
Damage resistances, psychic.
You were gonna give it immunity to psychic damage.
So let's do non-magical damage here.
Yeah.
Any other resistances it should have?
Non-magical damage. Immune to psychic damage. I don't know about immune to crits, but I'm thinking in terms of like the card is obviously a water monster. It's a machine.
Cold.
I'm like, you could give it a resistance to cold and fire damage.
Yeah.
Be fun.
So, yeah, I don't want to do the immune to crits thing because, admittedly, off the top of my head, I can only think of a couple of things that are immune to crits. And the one that springs to my mind at the moment is... Okay, there's adamantine armor, but also creatures that get that inherently. It's... high-level spores druids.
I was gonna say, I don't know about monsters that get it organically. Again, I've got the wrong list for this.
Languages.
So I'm like...
Nada. Damage. No. Bolt. Damage. Immunities. Psychic.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is... It's interesting as to what we're kind of looking at there. Because in terms of immunity to magic, why? I can see it mechanically speaking, but narratively speaking, why would it have immunity? Because admittedly, Rakshasa get that because they are incredibly tricksy magical creatures from different planes. And I've seen, I don't know where it came from, but I was shown a stat block for, I was shown a stat block for Tiamat, where it was like, hey, 6th level or lower spells don't work on this. And I shat myself.
Yeah, but then that's Tiamat. That's very
Tiamat.
specific, like a party of 20th level adventurers only.
Yeah, we were level 12.
Oh Jesus!
So we're not giving this thing spells.
No.
No spells.
No, it's already a goblin launcher.
Yeah.
Although we should give it an ability that allows it to summon mobs when it runs out of mobs. Because otherwise, as soon as it runs out of ammo, it stops being a threat.
Reload! Oh god, I'm just imagining Zigbar saying that in the fight.
Every time. Can be diffused by levitate? Dunno.
Okay.
Would levitate work on this?
An unwilling creature on levitate, I do believe, has to get a strength or con save, and we've given it a very high thing for that. I think it's a strength.
I'm now going to look up levitate because I can't actually remember how it works.
Second level spell, basically just bob somebody 20 feet in the air, and you can control their y-axis motion, but they can't. Basically, it just immobilizes somebody.
That's pretty great.
It's a very useful spell, but it's a bit fucky.
Yeah. I mean, suspended creature. An unwilling creature that succeeds on a con save is unaffected.
Yeah, and we've already given it a bitchin' con bonus.
Can only move by pushing or pulling against a fixed.
It's a £500 limit. This thing is absolutely
yeah.
more than £500.
Oh, well more than
construct.
£500.
It is a large construct.
Yeah. So there we go. We're immune to levitate.
Find me a DM that would rule that this thing is under £500. And I will show you someone who doesn't understand how weight works.
Where everyone can cast silvery barbs. If you're running a party
where everyone can cast silvery barbs, throw a Nightwalker at them and make them suffer for their choices.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't put this against those guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so reload. So I'm thinking for the launching thing, we go if there's a creature within 5 feet or within 10 feet, we can launch it.
10 feet. Because it's so slow, I think we should be able to grab mobs within 10 feet of itself.
If there is no creature within 10 feet of this creature, within 10 feet, catapult turtle can summon 1d.
1d6?
Yeah, 1d6.
Yeah, 1d6 of CR a quarter monsters, or whatever. What's the CR of a goblin? The bitch basic goblin. A kobold's 1/8.
Goblins 165.
Goblins are a quarter CR.
Yeah.
You want to go quarter CR, or do you want to go an 1/8 CR?
Nah,
Or
quarter.
do you want to make it a specific monster? Quarter.
I think goblins. I think this is a goblin construct.
All right, we'll make it specifically goblins. 1d6 goblins.
And if you are playing this and you want to say kobolds or something else is running this, like putting this thing alongside quicklings or whatever, you can do that. You're a DM. This is homebrew. Feel free to homebrew it further.
Absolutely.
So I can summon 1d6 of goblins to spaces within 5 feet of it.
Yeah. I
I'll
like
say
that.
unoccupied spaces. Because otherwise it'll summon a goblin inside a rock. I spelled unoccupied wrong again. Because I am not clever.
Doing great.
What I do think would be a cool idea is give it a reaction. No, give it a legendary action. But its only legendary action is that it can make another creature within 30 feet run towards it.
To become ammo.
To become ammo. Can you find something with legendary actions to copy off because it wasn't on the template?
No. Reload goblins are running from its insides, like the horse of Troy, or is it like summoned from the up from the ground?
Summoned from the goblin bag.
Summoned from the goblin bag.
Goblin bag. Bag of
I feel
goblins.
like after we, I feel like given that we've just been talking all that good shit about like thematically appropriate choices, we should either go Trojan horse, or we should go made from clay.
Here's the thing, is goblins are kind of the one creature you don't have to justify
where they come
being
from.
Everywhere.
They're just goblins are like ninjas, that you can't see them means that they are there.
Yeah.
Look at this photograph! It's got 200 goblins in it.
I'm gonna say the catapult turtle gets one legendary action.
Alright.
Because again, I mean, if you give it 3 legendary actions, but it can do the same thing, but it can only do the one thing. So it can do the one thing 3 times.
I mean, that works, because it's only got one option for legendary actions. And because I think one of the things with this is to prevent it immediately becoming too many goblins very quickly, and the party, eradicating all of the ammo very quickly, is the more often you can be like, no goblin, come to me, so I will shoot! The better. I was going to say, we're just going with standard.
Yeah, we're going with standard
goblins
here.
Yeah. We ain't here for fun goblins quite yet. Obviously, if somebody takes this and is like, well, let's put some fun goblins in it.
Then hell yeah, go for it.
That's their business. Even Goblin Slayer goblins, I'm like, specifically are dangerous because of the environments you find them in. As part of the whole deal is like the specializing of like hunting goblins is to do with the environments that they live in, and adventurers not taking them seriously because goblins out in a field can be killed by any cunt with a stick. Bearing in mind, to be fair, I only went halfway through season 2 of Goblin Slayer. I felt like it kind of, the drama wasn't quite as high stakes as the first season, but again, the first season had its own issues, and poisons is fun. Right. I was going to say actually. I feel like Goblin Slayer. I like the backstory of Goblin Slayer, that it was based on the guy's D&D campaign, and he, one of the players had this ranger who was just like, no, I'm gonna fuck up some goblins. I'm like, I thought that was great. I really liked that in terms of the writing of it. And the characters were good. The story, again, I didn't have a huge issue with the story. I thought it's nice to have a fantasy, like a kind of, and obviously it's not high fantasy, it's very much, kind of that George R. Martin grim fantasy, kind of style of storytelling. Joe Abercrombie, Peter V. Brett, all these kind of people. And it was nice to have that in a kind of like a small scale setting. Like the dude's mission is to keep the town safe, look after his farmhand girlfriend, and just be like, this is my patch, and I fuck up goblins, and that's my deal. And I quite like that. It's nice to have something on that kind of smaller scale. But yeah, I think the problem with that is you can absolutely struggle when you start trying to stretch it out into more seasons and trying to kind of give it grander and grander storylines. That becomes a problem. And And it also doesn't help that, like the reason Goblin Slayer received notoriety in the first place was they went for like the big shock factor at the start of season 1, and then it's like you can't, when you open with big shock and then go into plot, it's like it's very difficult to raise the stakes after that. Because you've already done, let's go as upset the audience as possible in the first episode.
Yeah, which is never...
Yeah.
From a storytelling perspective, I really don't respect that. It's not... It feels like the kind of thing you do when you're not running high on ideas to start with. And it also feels
it's the kind of thing that it works really well for marketing.
It works really well for marketing, but at the same time,
yeah.
it will also... I mean, it depends how well you can capitalize on outrage.
And to be fair, I think Goblin Slayer Season 1 capitalized very well. It got a really good audience, and that's why it got a second season.
Yeah.
Was because it capitalized very well on that first episode outrage. But like, Game of Thrones being the kind of the archetype of let's upset people, and therefore they'll all come and watch it and we'll get, all of the publicity.
To be fair, Game of Thrones waited as well. Like, its first real, like, shock is the beheading of Ned Stark.
Yeah, the very end of season 1, where they pull the rug out from under you because they were like, you thought the shock factor was all of this. Actually, it was the plot the whole time.
Yeah, it wasn't the...
But I think, that's the contrast.
Chris, it wasn't a rug pull. They killed Sean Bean.
I know that, but like, people were upset that they killed Sean Bean.
Yeah.
They were like, justice for Sean.
To be fair, that's kind of the premise of the entire war. Was you weren't supposed to kill Sean Bean, we're now angry about it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Whole fucking country comes down because one kid wanted to prove he was Billy Big Bollocks and executed somebody instead of letting him go off and be like a dude.
Yeah. Killing Sean Bean is just like no one is safe.
Yeah, but after a while it makes me stop caring about anyone.
But I think
read
that
the books,
was
and the books are like that thick. I was reading that thick a book for
Red Wedding was stunningly pulled off. But I think that's the thing that Game of Thrones does do quite well. In fairness, and Charles Dance's Tywin Lannister was perfect. Just Charles Dance in general is just a beautiful actor. He does such wonderful stuff.
Every scene with Charles Dance acting opposite Peter Dinklage is just pure gold because both of them are such good actors with such just force of charisma. Like Charles Dance is brilliant. Like the Game of Thrones, great cast, had some really really good casting.
Yeah,
I just lost respect for the author at a certain point.
I mean, the bit I lost respect for was the showrunners as opposed to the author. But
see, I didn't watch the show. I watched the first couple of episodes and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, you were in the books. Deep in the book trenches.
Deep in the book trenches. And there is a point where you get through levels of explicit sex and violence where you're sitting there and going like, someone is getting off to this, and I am pretty sure it's the author, and that makes me very uncomfortable because it makes me feel like I'm reading somebody's snuff fic.
But in fairness to George R.R. Martin, like, what he did effectively was pioneer a new genre within fantasy that a lot of other people then went and did better.
That's the thing.
Joe Abercrombie, like Peter V. Brett.
I have issues with George R.R. Martin's content. However, I will say his mastery of prose is fantastic. Like, the guy can write really evocative and emotional scenes. I just don't like what he's evoking.
Fair. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. We need to finish this because it's like 5 minutes left on the stream. We've just
I was monologuing while you were writing to give you cover. Where are we at?
The launch feature. If there's a creature within 10 feet, catapult
turtle can use its action to load and fire said creature.
See, I've changed
at a target.
We gave it that reload feature. I realized that reload thing should be an action.
Fair. Yes, that makes sense.
So, what I do want to question you for, because I want your input in this, I went multi-action. The catapult turtle can use its reload and then its launch. Should it be able to do both, or should it have to wait to reload? I think
we're putting this against sufficiently high level parties at this point for the number of mobs that it can reload and launch in one go.
Okay.
Especially since at this point it's only going to get one attack a turn.
That is true.
Even though it's true. Yeah. I've not read the Nightstone trilogy. Who's that by?
Never heard of it.
Because I do quite enjoy a space opera. I don't get the chance to read a lot of them. I've still got Adrian Tchaikovsky sitting on my bookshelf, which I really want to read. The Children of Time.
A whole bunch of
speaking of space operas. I know the name Peter F. Hamilton. I think I've seen him on a lot of bookshelves. I will put that on my list. Nightstone trilogy by Peter F. Hamilton. I'm up for that.
I'm thinking we just give this a 120-foot range.
Oh, definitely.
Or longer.
This should be able to hit you at the other end of the next map.
300-foot range. Yeah, Eldritch Spear. This is like turn this like, oh, you have Eldritch Spear? I have Catapult Turtle. I was like, I don't give a shit if you're launching your Eldritch Blast at 300 feet. I'm going to fire a goblin and Mach fuck into your face.
To be fair though, that would be the best way of like starting the encounter. It's just out of nowhere, a goblin, like you just like roll a dex save. Why? Goblin. Just do it. You pass the dex save, and a goblin sails past your fucking face and it embeds itself in the hillock behind you. You're like, fuck, I'm gonna need to go find that enemy, aren't I?
So I'm thinking DC 18 dex save. Like this thing should.
PC needs to be covered in viscera.
Oh yeah,
guts and viscera.
Like a goblin hits you at that speed, it just bursts.
Yeah,
it's like driving into a bird.
99 little goblin balloons bursting full of effluvia.
Right, so we're very much designing this around goblins. Now the original idea was that they would do damage equal to the creatures, like half the creature's hit points. Goblins have 7 hit points.
So we'll just do all of the goblins' hit points.
Nah, I should be doing way more than 7 damage a shot. Like this thing should be quite bad.
Fair? Alright. Well then, each goblin should have 1d6 elemental damage from acid poison and so on.
Yeah, each of the before getting flung, the goblins are just dousing themselves in potions. Goblin just douses itself in oil, sets itself on fire like it climbs into the catapult turtle.
You could 100% give it a bonus action that says it can add an elemental effect to what it's launching, and it can rotate it.
See, what I think I want to do then is I want to get another Yu-Gi-Oh monster, and I want to get like the effigy monsters.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, get them and have them as the cannonballs instead.
That would be funny. But I mean, I'm very much because I'm thinking that there was a really terrible anime that I watched all of a long time ago, which was a Final Fantasy anime. In like the style of like OG Digimon. But part of the gimmick is this guy's got a gun that he like loads with different types of elements.
Yeah.
They all combine to make different summons.
That's really
so it's like that. Like you just like, you know, your goblin is your ammunition, and then you just like, and now I add the power of acid. Boom.
So how
the
much
power
damage?
Of thunder. Boom.
How much damage should this do? Because we're looking at higher level parties, you should do a fair whack of damage.
Catapult turtle plus double cost on explosions of fuck you.
Just machine gun.
That would be perfect.
Yeah. Maybe.
Four times remaining health?
Yeah, because that goes anywhere from 4 to 28 damage.
Yeah, but that is flat damage, so there's no roll for that damage.
Flat 28 damage.
Well, you do flat damage, but add a dex save.
I am adding a dex save, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a DC 18.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a DC 18 dex saving throw.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay. Or take force damage equal to 4 times the
plus 1d6 elemental damage if you douse the
creatures,
goblin.
It's 4 times the fire creatures remaining hit points, because that also offers an incentive to
damage the goblins.
To damage the goblins, yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going to do the elemental thing, I would do it on the creature it's firing and have them specifically like paired together in a book and be like, hey, these guys go together quite a lot.
Fair, that would be cool.
Rather than making it a feature of the catapult turtle.
One question, just while my brain is here. Do we give it a minimum range?
That would probably make it less super deadly, yeah.
Yeah, and then it gives more of an incentive to marshals. Particularly given, actually, I think I don't think it jumps back in recoil. It's got too little movement to justify jumping back in recoil. Also, it's a catapult as opposed to... It's not propelling through an explosion.
Yeah.
It's legit just launching. It's closer to a trebuchet.
At the other end.
Or a crossbow.
Yeah, it's a lot... It's basically a giant
It's basically a crossbow.
Without the bow.
Yeah, so it doesn't... So, yeah, recoil's not really an issue.
Catapult turtle cannot target a creature that is within... Should we say 60 feet?
30.
Okay. I was thinking 60 feet.
Because remember that the goblins that you can draw to you are within 30 feet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Catapult turtle cannot target a creature that was within 30 feet of it.
Yeah.
Right,
like,
so...
As soon as you get within 30 feet, it's the goblin's job.
Yeah, what I would love to do for this would be... I think there is definitely a Yu-Gi-Oh monster we can take for this. Probably one of the little tuners that we can change out for goblins. Because what I'm thinking is, we have a little crew that goes around this. They get the elemental dousing, but also they can repair this thing.
I mean, that would be great. It's absolutely... You get a little
cool,
crew
go
of,
casting invisible. The rest of your
ones.
party's getting shot.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But then, I think actually, no, because that's what you want, is you want to give invisible, again, to the monk. The monk wants to run, sprint
and the monk can
at
get
maximum
in there.
Speed. So the monk's going to get in there invisible while everybody else is drawing fire and killing goblins.
And also,
that's a pretty legit strategy.
That's giving you a more tactical use for an idea. Because you can draw fire, have your monk or your barbarian go invisible and just fucking book it. And then your wizard is bunking down trying to avoid the attacks because you're probably getting hit with a DC 14 concentration check to deal with this.
Yeah, because then realistically you've probably got your paladin adjacent to your wizard trying to take damage for the wizard.
Yeah.
With Shield Master and
Protection Fighting Style.
Yeah, Protection Fighting Style. And that's you sorted. If the wizard is underground in mold earth, then it can't shoot things. Then
also, you might lose concentration because you'll probably have to cast Air Bubble. Because, breathing. It's necessary.
It is important.
But for now, I think that is us.
I think that is 10 o'clock.
That's 10 o'clock. We'll be back here next week, probably doing something else. But yeah.
We make it up on a weekly basis.
Yes. You can find us on various social medias.
Indeed.
You can follow me on Twitter at JonathanHoney4. You can follow my games company, Old Alliance Games. We are at old_games on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can go to our new website to see updates on the game we're building. We're posting things fairly regularly there now. That's oldalliancegames.com. You can find basically
follow notifications. I don't know about follow notifications.
See, I get emails from Twitch saying when someone has followed you, but I don't have one on my setup thing here.
I think follow notifications probably notifications to followers. I know we've got one that just goes, "You're live."
Post link to what?
Can we post a link? Things for... Oh, for the turtle. And I don't think we've got... They were up on... Are they not up on your Patreon?
They will be. I'm still working on it.
Fair enough. So they will end up on your Patreon at some point. Oh, you want to share a combat map for free use? Oh. Say DM Jonathan on Twitter.
Yeah.
What's your Twitter again, Jay?
Jonathan Honey 4.
There you go. That's the best way to share things.
Oh, there we go. Just
Hey,
right in at the end, right into the quick we got a bot.
I love that. It took so long.
I got like 4 on my Game Jam stream.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But yeah,
Right.
So we're here. We're on various social
There
medias.
we
Chris, you can find Chris at Chris Honeyactor on Instagram.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want
Only
to?
place I do anything.
Is there anything else you want to talk up?
Nah, I've not got any projects this year. Next year, projects next year.
Woo. And yeah, we'll be back next Monday with various things. And yeah, you can find all of our old streams on YouTube at the Brothers Honey.
Yeah. It's good life.
Yeah, there's some good stuff up there. We talk mad shit.
We do talk some mad shit.
Me. At Jonathan Honey 4 on Twitter. Right. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, you're posting. You're sending him the link, aren't you?
Yeah.
Jonathan Honey 4. There's tons of us. Right.
There we go.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.